Hi, this is Zach with the US penny stock highlights for Friday, the 4th of September. Starting off with the Lithia group, you can see there's been a bounce there off former resistance. That red line there around $1.75. Above that, we're looking for the upside. Initially, the target at the 200-day line at $2.10, and then after that, up to the top of the rising March trend channel at just shy of $2.70. Time frame on that, hopefully as soon as the end of this month. If you're cautious, maybe wait for an end-of-day close through the 200-day line. But after today's price action, looks as though the shares may be on their way. Next up, BUILDA, which is, I suppose, a serious company if you're under 10 years old. Currently, the situation here is that we've gapped through the 200-day moving average. In fact, we gapped below it as well, so a couple of great gaps on the daily chart there. Above the floor of the, I suppose the recent consolidation, $2.82, looking for further upside. Great end-of-week close above the initial peak, September peak, around $3.12. And but at least while we're above, let's say the $3 level, the support of Friday, one would be looking for a top of price channel target. They're up to $3.65 or so, which is the top of the March trend channel. Given that we have gapped up through the 200-day moving average, we are on alert for an extended move to the upside, and that would be that resistance line projection there from February up towards the $6 level. But obviously that's a month or two away if the scenario pans out. But at least above the $2.95 to $3 area, the upside looks pretty well locked in for BUILDA. Next scenario, next chart, in fact, is one that I believe I've looked at recently, Comstock Holdings. Here we've had a bounce off the 200-day moving average, and I suppose it's also a bounce off late May support as well. So above the 200-day line, let's call it $2.18. We've got the upside scenario here with a 50-day moving average target towards $2.90. Best case scenario target over the next 1 to 2 months up to $5 plus. Which obviously seems like a long way away at the moment, but if this is the near-term floor, then there should be at least a reasonable upside from current levels. Next stock is one which is looking pretty constructive, let's say, which lives up to its name, infrastructure and energy alternative. The reason for saying that is that we've broken the initial target here, which was the top of that rising trend channel from April, so let's call that $5.60. Above $5.60 on an end-of-day close basis, looking towards a February, or rather March resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as $7.50. That could be seen as soon as the end of the month, especially while, as I said, there's no end-of-day close back below the $5.60 area. Moving on to a new stock for our selection, and it's coming in the form of Coffee Holdings, or Coffee Holding Company. Beautiful break of this trend line there from the beginning of the year, and the 200-day moving average at $3, call it $3.40. Above that on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking to the top of the trend channel from February as high as $5. Hopefully as soon as the end of this month, but maybe allow another couple of weeks of leeway on that particular time frame. But obviously the way things are going at the moment, it could be well before the end of this month. Moving along, we have National CineMedia, which doesn't sound like it's a company which would do very well at the moment, but here we are. It's broken that neckline resistance there at $4.11, and above that, on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking towards the March resistance line projection, currently pointing towards $7. That could be seen as soon as the next 4 to 6 weeks. If you're cautious on the stock, maybe wait for that end-of-day close above the 200-day moving average at $4.66. But with Friday's action, the gap higher through resistance, it does look as though shares of National CineMedia are on their way. Stock which I have covered recently and which looked quite promising is PDS Biotechnology Corporation. Obviously, it's difficult to resist anything in the biotech space at the moment. Good and a good weekly close and good end of day close back above the 200-day moving average at $1.87, and also the uptrend line there from May as well, which is around about the $2 level. At least while there's no end of day close back below $2, looking for the 50-day moving average at 285 as the initial target over the next couple of weeks, and up to that, mid-channel line there at just shy of $4 for the end of the month at the current rate of progress. Obviously, we can dream of the higher targets at a later date, namely $7, but looks like maybe a bit premature to shoot for that particular target just yet. Stock which has looked good just from the first time we've looked at it is TRACON Pharmaceuticals. Obviously, had another pharma stock breaking the 200-day moving average this week at $2.38, and above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from January, currently pointing at $5 plus. Time frame on that hopefully as soon as the end of this month, but again, they might have to wait a few days into October to see that target reached comprehensively. I've been re-included the stock which is actually outside our normal remit of a stock which has a share price of $5 or less. In fact, today we had Vivo Power blowing all the lights out in terms of its particular target. I think we were starting the shares when they were around, let's say, the $3 level, just breaking their neckline resistance. First target was around 570. Second, a sort of optimistic best case scenario target was around $10, and obviously we shot through that. While we remain above $10, looking for a retest of the 1480 plus area, which is a line of resistance from back in January. So pretty well set up for Vivo Power, an amazing re-rate that we've had in those shares. Finishing off with a new name, and one that may be a good name for the future. Here we've got Zovio, and the story here really is that we've been climbing up this trend channel and also the 50-day moving average area over the last few months. The view at this stage is, at least while there's no break back below the $4 area, we're looking for further upside. Initial resistance there obviously towards 480, 490. But the bigger picture target above $4, looking for as high as $8, which is the top of last year's trend channel on the daily chart. That's it for me this week. Join me again next week with more US penny stocks.